Hello, you guys. Our lesson is about how are animals alike. Let's discuss the notes. So let's take some notes together. How are animals alike and different? Well, animals need 4 things to live and grow. Without those 4 things, they would not be able to survive or to stay alive. Can you guess what they are? Well, the first thing is food, because animals need food to grow bigger. Now, if the animal eats only plants, then it's called a herbivore. Now, the word herbivore, it has herbi and vores. Herbi means plant and vores means to eat. So herbivores means plant eaters, like this deer. Now, if the animal like this lion eats only meat, then we call it a carnivore. Again, carni means meat and vor means to eat. So carnivores means meat eaters. But sometimes animals, they eat different kinds of food, depends on the season. For example, the grizzly bear, sometimes he eats fish and sometimes he eats berries. So sometimes he eats animals and sometimes he eats plants. That's why we call him an omnivore. Omni means both and vor means to eat. So omnivores means they eat both plants and animals. The second thing that animals need is water. Water is very important for animals to live. The third thing is oxygen. Oxygen is very important for animals to have enough energy to move around and bring food and eat and stay healthy. Now, some animals, they live on land and they get oxygen they breathe in or they take in from the air through their lungs. But sometimes some animals like fish, they live in the water, so they get the oxygen they need from the water through their gills. The fourth thing is shelter. Now, shelter is the home for the animal that it helps it to stay safe. Now, the animals need shelters to keep their young or their babies safe from dangerous animals. They need the shelter to stay safe from the hot weather, the cold weather, storms like rain and stuff like that. So, can you think of different kinds of animal shelters? Well, let's say dogs. Dogs live in kennels. This is the shelter of the dog. The horse, the shelter of the horse is called stable or barn. The bees live in beehives. This is their shelter. A bird lives in a nest, and the fish lives in a fish tank or an aquarium. Now we're going to discuss how animals are different. Animals also have different shapes and sizes. Some animals are big and some are small, like this elephant and the mouse. They have different body parts that help them move in different ways. They need to move to find their food and stuff like that. For example, the lion runs. The dolphin swims. The monkey climbs. The bird flies. The snake slithers. The kangaroo jumps. The penguins waddle. And elephants stomp. So they move in different ways. Animals also can have different body coverings. They may be covered differently. For example, the horse is covered with hair and fur. The alligator is covered by dry scales. You see those little teeny tiny squares here showing? These are his dry scales. Snails and turtles, they are covered by shells. Birds are covered by feathers. Frogs have a wet skin that covers them. And fish have those scales. These are wet scales, different from the dry scales of an alligator or a reptile. Thank you so much. That's it. I'll see you next time.